Greetings YouTube and welcome back to another video, and today I'm back to doing a collection video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but let me tell you, the wait is worth it because you're going to be amazed with all the retro games that I've got. Unfortunately there is no modern stuff today, but without further ado, let's get on with the games. First is a PlayStation 1 title. And it's a game from one of my favourite series of all time, and a game I had as a kid, but unfortunately lost it over time due to moving house as a kid as well. So yeah, we have got one of the best games of all time, and that is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Footloose, if you're watching this, I bet you'll be so happy, because I know this is your favourite Resident Evil game. And honestly, I don't blame you for thinking that it is, because this is an absolute classic. I still think Resident Evil 2 is the best one personally, but I cannot deny that Resident Evil 3 is a great game. So yeah, it's got all the instruction manuals. It's got the instruction manual in this, got all in nice condition. So yeah, that is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. And not long ago, you may have seen me pick up a Sega Saturn, and I picked some games up for it. Well, I've got more games for it, so let me just grab them whilst I'm here. Next we have, we have got Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, aka 3D Blast, and honestly, this, in my opinion, isn't the best Sonic game. If anything, I think this is one of the weakest games in the Sonic series, but you know what, this has got some fantastic music. Even if the Mega Drive version probably had the best music. And I'll be honest with you, whilst it may not be my favourite Sonic game, I still have some fun with it. Even if the last couple of levels make me want to rip all my hair out when collecting all the flickies, because sometimes when you do get hit, you lose all your flickies. And some flickies are a pain in the arse to get, because some just bounce all over the place. And you have to return to where you last got them. It's a very interesting game. I know some people love it, some hate it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but honestly, it's not the worst Sonic game I've played. But yeah, like Sonic 3D Flicky's Island. Next, we have got Virtua Fighter, the first Virtua Fighter game, and yes, I know this game is an absolute classic, and I've had some fun with it. But you know what? It's aged. It's quite obvious if you've played this. I know Virtua Fighter 2 is the better game, but unfortunately I haven't got that yet, so you know, it's a decent fighting game, and at the time it was groundbreaking. Whilst this game has aged quite a bit, it's still quite fun. Yeah, Virtua Fighter. And by the way, all these Saturn games I've got are complete. The third and final Saturn game which I've got is Spot Goes to Hollywood. Yeah, this is a really good game. But it takes a while to get used to, because this game, it's got an isometric camera, so you're looking down at I don't know. The camera points in sort of how can I describe it? Like a northeast direction. And sometimes with the isometric angles, it's sometimes hard to gauge where enemy attacks are and the jumps. It's a fun little platformer. Yeah, I know Spotty, I think he was the mascot for 7-Up, which is one of my favourite drinks. Yeah, this isn't a bad game. There's a few versions of this. I think this was on the Mega Drive. I know it had the PlayStation 1 version. Was this also on the Super Nintendo? I'm not too sure. If this was on the Super Nintendo, please let me know, because I don't know, I'm just interested. So that's that. Next we have got some Sega Mega Drive games. One of them is a compilation, but the reason why I bought this compilation is, well, you'll understand why in a second when I show you this. This is the Sega Mega Drive Classic Collection, where you've got games like Gunstar Heroes, Altered Beast, Flicky, and Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle. I mostly bought this for Gunstar Heroes. I know you say, oh, couldn't you bought just Gunstar Heroes on its own? The problem is Gunstar Heroes on its own cost even more money than this compilation, which I find rather daft. Yeah, it's a fun run and gun game. Very difficult, but it's very addictive once you get used to the controls. We've got Altered Beast, which is a classic game. Not really a favourite of mine, but it was a launch sell for the Mega Drive, so it's not bad. And then we've got Flicky, where we have to try and collect birds and basically just rescue these yellow birds and try and avoid enemies. I've not really played Flicky all that much. And then we have got Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle. To be honest with you, I don't really like Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle all that much. It's one of the most difficult games I've played, and it's got some pretty bad hit detection. Because sometimes you can punch an enemy, but for whatever reason, sometimes you will die even when you do punch. Because sometimes there's enemies coming at you, you punch it, then I don't know. Sometimes you just get hit, even when you're trying to hit an enemy. It's got an interesting bosses if you've played Alex Kidd in Miracle World for the Master System, where you have to defeat bosses by playing a game of rock paper scissors. It is a pretty genius idea, but this game not really a favourite of mine, but not bad. So yeah, this is the Classic Collection. I nearly forgot the name of it for a second. So yeah, Classic Collection for the Sega Mega Drive. The next two games, believe it or not, are actually Japanese Mega Drive games. I know why. I've got a PAL Mega Drive, and I was thinking about getting a Japanese Mega Drive, but unfortunately, I haven't got the room for one of those. So what I did was get one of these adapters where basically you put a Japanese game on top, so you can play Japanese games on your PAL Mega Drive. Because the Japanese cartridges do not fit in the PAL Mega Drives. So yeah, this adapter it's very good. It's really helpful. So I got two games which are in Japanese. Both of them, unfortunately, haven't got the instruction manuals, but then again, there's no point because I can't even read Japanese. I just bought these games because I thought they looked pretty cool. One of the games isn't exactly the greatest, and as I'll explain why now. And that game is Hokuto no Ken, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, that game is, it's Fist of the North Star. However, this game did come out in North America and the PAL region's called The Last Battle. Gotta be honest with you, this game is pretty bad. But you know what? It's so bad, I really like it. It's strange. I know it's an early Mega Drive title from 1989. Yeah, it's not exactly the greatest game. As you go along, your health bar increases, but unfortunately, it's one of those games where you've got one life and you have to try and beat the game with one life, and it's pretty hard. Yeah, the hit detection is a little off. But when you punch enemies in this version, the enemies' heads like blow off. They explode and bleed everywhere. But in the Western release, whenever you hit an enemy, they just fly off the screen. It's really bad. It's not exactly the greatest beat 'em up, like I've said, but you know what? It's just a fun game for all the wrong reasons. If you've not played it either, I don't know if I suggest it or not because if you want to try out bad games, then go ahead. But you know what? This is one weird game. So that is Hakoto no Ken. Uh, Next, we have got another Japanese Mega Drive game, and you know what? This is a really good game, very good, and hopefully I've got the name of this right. It's called Magical Flying Hat, if that's what it's called. Or no, it's not. Is it? Or is it Magical Flying Hat or Flying Magical Hat? I can't remember. But you know what? It's a pretty fun little platformer. Yeah, this game got reskinned over in the western regions, and it was called Decap Attack, which I think you're more familiar with. But you know, it's a fun little platformer. It's very difficult as well because it's another one of those games where it's one hit and you're dead. But if you get like an egg, which is like your partner, you can throw you can throw the egg at enemies, which will kill them. And if you do get hit whilst having the egg, you get an extra hit point. And there's some like fun bonus games where you can gain like potions, extra lives, you name it. There's loads of stuff in this. And for a 1990 game, yeah, I just had a look at the year. For a 1990 title, it looks absolutely stunning, and the music is pretty good as well. So yeah, that is Magical Hat for the Sega Mega Drive. Very fun game. The last but not least, now when I say Castlevania Symphony of the Night was my holy grail game, guess what? Not anymore. It isn't. This is a holy grail game, and I actually got a good deal of this on eBay, and I really wanted to play this game. I wanted to play this game. Yeah, I bought it not to show off or anything. I just bought this game because it's one of my absolute favorites. I've played this game and beaten it several times on an SNES emulator. So I thought I'd buy the physical version, and that is Super Metroid, and this is the big box edition where it comes with like a guidebook, which it's got like 72 pages. But I didn't buy it just for the guidebook. I bought it because you know what, I really like the game. So yeah, and then is the back of the game. Yeah, so yeah, I know this game can fetch up for £100. I actually ended up getting this game for £50. I ended up winning this on the bid. Yeah, 50 quid for this. You're thinking you got that for a steal. Yeah, I know I got it for a steal, but you know what? I don't care. I just really wanted to play this game, and it's worth every penny. And you know what? This could possibly, and I'm not joking here, could possibly be my favourite game on the Super Nintendo. It is that good. Yeah, so as soon as I got the game, I sat down and after a few days, I managed to beat it. I got all the missiles and all the item upgrades to beat the game. It was just a fun experience throughout. Yeah, Metroid. I mean, I like Metroid Prime. They're some of my favorite games, but you know what? out of all the Metroid games I've played, this is easily my favourite of the bunch. So yeah, that is Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo. Brilliant game. Right, I think that shall be it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I shall see you very soon. Take care.